All right. So this is the use case. So if you see the screen, this is the use case that you shared, right? So what we're looking for is to build a recycle management system. I don't know why it's switching. So you're looking to build a recycle management system, right? So just give me 1 second. Sorry. Is to build a recycle management system, and you'll have one who's the seller and the other who is actually agent. So the idea is first seller can so agent can register his own vehicle, and he can register into this company, and sellers can register into the system and look for basically I don't know, should sellers register or not. We can, it's a debatable thing, and they can look at the list of available agents and pick for disposal, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, all right. So I'm assuming for something like this line that I've highlighted, you would like to see all the vehicles that are there around five, or are the agents' location? I don't know. Are you looking for a map-based view here, where we show a list of agents in a map? Is that what you're looking for?
Now, just let me pitch in here. Prashant, the thing is that the seller actually sees the vehicles which are available in that area, but he is not able to pick and choose which is the thing. So he, basically, when he says that he has, depending on his quantity, the different vehicle type shows up, and he just selects it and goes ahead. So he cannot go and choose a particular agent. That is basically happens in the other side, where the agent gets a notification and then goes ahead and schedules a means confirms a pickup request.
Yeah, but then this is different, right? You're looking after selecting agent, sellers can schedule the pickup time, the date and material. So I thought we can automate this entire thing where we can show availability that this sellers can pick up, like I want to pick it up on, let's say, depending on the availability, right? Monday, 3 p.m., something like that.
Balaji, I didn't go into this thing. So I think that was the understanding, isn't it, Balaji?
Yeah, Rupesh, actually that while we are after selecting that on vehicle type, then we need to pick the schedule something. Then
it's the schedule, but the agent is not picked up by the seller.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So maybe that's a misleading statement in there.
Okay,
correct.
So basically, he's gonna look for all the vehicles around him, just like Uber, and then he's gonna say, "I want to request, let's say, a truck," right?
Yeah, exactly.
And he sends a request, and that request goes to some basically 10 agents probably around near his area, and one of the agent is gonna say, "I accept it," right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the correct understanding.
What you're looking to do is build like a Uber, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then a bit of my understanding changed here. So instead of agent who's having a list of vehicles, let's do the relation in an inverse way. We'll have a vehicle which is owned by an agent. Okay, so I'm just going to inverse the relation a bit based on my idea. So let's log into the system. I just created a company called Grayseal. So ignore the existing models and workflows. It was for another demo where they wanted to do a video conferencing. So in that demo, I just quickly built a video conferencing solution. So I'm just continuing on that. It just happened a couple of hours ago, so I didn't get a chance to clear this. I'll just continue on this, and we can again look at we can always create everything from scratch for you as needed. Okay. So looking at this system, Code Ninja, I think you've had a bit of understanding already of what we are and how we are, what this tool does, and everything else. If you want to see some of the generated applications, I'm happy to showcase as well. I'll show you, I'm using BlueStacks here now to simulate. So if I show you one of the application that we have built, so this is gonna look Yeah, so this is one application that is connecting mentors and mentees. So you get to see how you can log in via OTP, and you can either also provide a referral code as needed. So you can enter a referral code. So this is one of the system that we have built. Then we have 1 second. Okay, so I can upload photos and stuff like this, right? So some of these colors are still being updated to make it more white and everything. So that is still happening. So you can ignore this right now. Next, a few other apps like the one you were asking for. Oh my God. Okay, so I will. So this is Simulate. It is looking for a list of even something near your area. So you can see some of these that are generated, right? So those events that you can see and you can look, right? Now similar, if I go and build, let's start building for your requirement. So the first one is we want to create an agent. So this is the agent model. So the first step of any of Code Ninja is for you to build a model. You want to build what data you want to collect. So modeling is nothing but what data you're trying to collect. Okay. So if I see the requirement again, so you're looking to build a model. The agent has location ticket. So it's very simple then. So we'll have agent name. It's a single line text. Then probably some photo of that. So which is an image. And probably we'll need, what do you call it, as description about themselves.
Yeah, vehicle type.
But it's not vehicle, no? There's an agent who owns multiple vehicles, right? So I'll use description, then probably their address, which is again a long text. Then maybe their location, exact location where they are based out of. If they want to do that, we can provide that as well. So anything else in the agent, I think we are okay with this, right? What?
Maybe a telephone number. Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem.
Okay. Contact and the telephone number. Contact. Okay, so good enough, right? And we'll publish this model now. Give it a minute to publish. So in the background, it's trying to learn from this model. It's trying to see what all code to write and how to write that code. So it's doing a few things in the background. Okay. So once this whole thing is created, so in the background, I'll show you that as well, right? The whole code and everything is generated, compiled, packaged. It'll try to deploy, create tables. So if I see that table as well, right, I can show you that. That probably would have. Okay, it's successful. So you can see how it would have created this table. This is agent. So you see here, right? So it's created this table. It has written the code in the background. It's decided what it should be, right? What the name should be, what the address should be, how the agent name should be. It's just, depending on various factors, it has created the table accordingly. Okay. So it'll get better, in the same domain as it creates more applications. As we make changes, it'll learn from that and it'll keep getting better. Okay. So now we have the agent model. Let's create the seller model. Right? And the name is seller, right? One is seller who wants to sell. Okay. So again, we'll probably have here as seller name. Then probably his address. Contact, first name. Then we have contact, last name. We have contact, email. Contact, phone. I don't care about seller's image. What we might need probably, one thing we also missed is the ratings. So that we could have had agent ratings. So we'll do it later, as a second step, but it's simple enough to build. So just leave it like that right now. And this current location, if you want to get some accurate location. But I don't think we need to care about seller's location. So I think this is good enough. I'll hit publish right now. So same thing, it's doing, as you keep doing this, right? It keeps learning from that and it keeps writing the code and building all the models and everything else. So yeah, it'll take a minute or two. Okay, so we have the seller now. That's also ready. So now we need a vehicle, right? The vehicle model. So in this case, you would need vehicle, probably vehicle type, right? So we'll call this as a drop down and add the possible values. So I don't know, you tell me guys, I'll put a semi, then we have a truck. What else? Minivan, auto. Any other types of vehicle?
Pickup auto and maybe a tricycle or something.
Okay. So this is good enough, right?
Yeah.
So we'll create that vehicle. Then probably you want to say the model. It's Toyota and Toyota, something like that. Year.
Prashant, you can add a registration number.
Registration number. Then who, like owner, who is the owner of it, right? In this case, it will be another type. So I'm selecting agent. So I'm associating vehicle to a certain agent. Okay. And we'll
maybe the driver name.
So, okay, fine. So, I mean, vehicle drivers keep changing, right? So do we even care about who's the driver of the vehicle?
No, that's for the agent to manage. So we don't have to.
Okay. So what is the current location of the vehicle? Okay. So that's in the map. Anything else, guys, on the vehicle?
Oh, at a high level, that should be fine.
Sure. So now, if you want to have a booking service, just like how you have Book My Show, right? You can potentially build an availability out of this, saying this vehicle is available for so many days or slots, right? So, but you said you didn't want that. You wanted a approach where every agent gets an email for, let's say, I have 5 vehicles. I'm just going to go and send it to the top 5 vehicles, and then they accept it or denied. So I'll leave this as so much, right? Like this is a list of vehicles that you're looking for. So I'm gonna hit publish. Next you need to do is the disposal request, right? That's another model that we'll have to create. In that request, we'll probably say how much, what are they, who's the seller. Let's do that. So let's start building the model. Oh, I didn't say whether this vehicle is available or not, but that's okay. Let's assume that it's all available. So we'll create something called as disposal request, right? A model that captures the request for disposal. Create. So we'll first have request date, right? When it was requested. Then we'll have who's the seller who's requesting this, right? Then potentially we might say what is the vehicle type that they have requested, right? I'll just create it as a simple text right now. We can actually do it as a drop down. Okay, fine. So right now I'll leave it as is. Then we'll say a list of shortlisted vehicles. We have another type here, which is nothing but vehicle on, it's a mini type right now. Okay. Then after shortlisted vehicles, we are looking for selected vehicle, right? Which vehicle was approved or selected? Oh, sorry, another type, vehicle. Okay. Then accepted date, when was this accepted? Then probably what is the weight of disposal? I'll just call it as weight. You want to make it a decimal number? How much weight you are disposing? Any request additional information. So we can take some additional information. So anything else, guys? I think this is good, right?
So how about the schedule?
So what schedule?
The pickup schedule.
Okay. So who decides that? Seller or the agent?
Seller decides that.
So he says when he wants the thing to be done. Is it?
Basically, there are 3 different. Maybe there is one 9 to 12 slot. There might be a 12 to 3 slot and a 3 to 6 slot, whatever it is. And he is able to choose one of those slots, and the pickup would happen within that time period.
No, but then there is no slots here, right? He's just saying, I want this to be picked up. That's it.
Yeah, but say if he says that I'm only available at morning 9 to 10 or something, and then he says arrange a pickup for this thing between 9 to 12. Where does he get to choose that if in case that's it?
Okay. So I'll say pickup slots. One is going to be 9 to 12. 12 to 3, 3 to 6.
Yeah, maybe we'll keep it at that.
9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Let's keep it 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and maybe last one 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a pickup slot. Then we'll also add a status field to this.
And pickup date is also mentioned, or?
We can do that. Then add a status drop down. So in this case, it'll be status will have requested, scheduled, then in progress, completed, cancelled, and withdrawn. Okay. I'll just add. I just thought of a few status and added it. I'll add the last one, which is completed date. When was this completed? Okay. So we're good enough, right?
Yep.
Anything required?
Yeah.
Balaji?
Yeah, Rupesh.
Okay, so publish. This is going to take a bit of its time again. Now, in the meanwhile, I'll show you a few other cool things this would have done. So if I see, did I have, I think I had it in vehicle. So if you see in vehicle, there would also be a audit table created. So if you see here, right? So it's automatically decided that in some cases I need to audit some of these fields. Same thing would happen here as well, right? It will automatically add auditing. So this is nothing but, it says something is gone wrong, but actually it's just that it's timed out, the gateway has timed out in the background. It is actually published. So it's just that it took longer, right, to do all the work. So our timeout is set for like 50 seconds. That will improve. So the same thing, right? Now it would have created for disposal request, it would have created automatically auditing tables, like pickup slots or status. So it audits who changed what. So if you need additional fields to be audited, we can always do that, as it learns. Probably right now it just understood that probably from these two fields I should audit. But as we teach it, as it learn that it should audit a few other things, it will automatically take care of auditing all those, saying who updated this, who made changes to this. So it's pretty important.
That can be overridden, isn't it?
If you don't want the audit, it's there. If you don't want it, you can leave it. You can.
No, instead of the system telling us which all needs to be audited, we can always say that no, I want these particular ones as well audited.
Correct, and that goes as a part of the learning. So in this case, it says it's a waste my pickups, application or domain. So it will start learning, saying that okay, in this model, these could be audited. I missed it, so it will learn from that. It's like teaching a baby, right? It knows to say 2 words, so you'll teach additional words for it to talk. So it's this in a similar way.
All right.
Okay. So with this much we have created. So let's go to the workflows, and I'm going to say right now as agent sign up. Before I come here, I think we should go into access control. So ignore these roles right now because it's something to do with the video conferencing. So I'll create additional permissions here. One is going to be okay. One is going to be what was it? Add register vehicle, right? You need that permission. Somebody has to register a vehicle. Okay, so then we'll probably have to say raise disposal request. Right now we only have 2 types of users, right? So I'll just have 2 permissions. One is to do this, and the other one is there. So we can always add more. Okay, so then I have seller. Okay, so now that this is done, if I come back here, create a new one, we call it as agent sign up. Okay. This is going to be a public workflow. Anybody can sign up as an agent. So in this case, it's going to be agent Now I'm gonna, so you have two approaches. I can automatically generate this entire thing, or I can go here and manually say what all I want. I want to take his name. I want to take his description. I want to take his address. So either we can do this, or I'll actually remove this now and I'll add a 2-column container. It'll look cooler, you know. So I'll take agent's name, his description, and his address in the first column. Okay, and I'll take the contact in the second column. Okay, now one more container, I can add one more container and I can take his location. This is going to be a maps. Okay, then I also can take save and next button in that. Now we can always drag and drop and move this around. So I can say first name and last name together. Email and phone number can be together. Take his address, his photo, his location. So now we can also design this for various viewports, right? Or I can apply it to all the viewports. So the first time you do it, it's always going to be a bit picky. So you should always start by applying to all viewports first. Otherwise, you'll have to repeat that work. Now I can also go into the full screen designer, and if I go into the full screen designer, I can design it for different viewports as well. So in the tablet mode, I'll probably want it in one line, one in tablet and mobile, I want it one below the other. Okay, so it's very straightforward. Save and close. So if I go in here, make changes as register. Okay, I can add an item now, which is going to be a thank you. It's a read one. And in thank you, I'm going to come and add simple image. If you want, I can add an image here. So I don't have any image here, so I can probably just upload a few image. There must be a thank you image here. Upload this. Use. Okay, let's see. You will receive an email with to set your password. Please we can provide some text here. Now in this, I can add an action now, which is going to be, first one is check for existing agents. Now we have something called as check unique. So this can check whether a particular agent is already registered or not. And I can do it by the contact email for now. Okay. And it's going to pick up that user and automatically set that user if it's already registered, right? It won't do any saves. Next I can do is create a user. So I can create a user for him, and the role I'll assign is agent. In the mapping criteria, I have to manually give it right now. So for the agent, I'll say give it by contact email, contact first name, contact last name, and contact phone. Okay, so this will now create a particular thing. So now I can make this as the default workflow. So in the company settings, if I go here, so right now I have sign up, right? I'll make agent sign up as the default workflow. So if I go into grayseal.whoats.com, automatically the agent sign up is going to show up. If you want to provide a splash page with some, like logo and hey, welcome, something banners, and then take him to this page, you're always welcome to do so. But right now I've defined it as this, oh my God, it's ugly. Okay, so I haven't styled it, so I haven't put anything, so I'll just leave it like this. The only thing I'll do is change this to 80%. It was looking real ugly. Okay, so I can sign up right now. We don't have so right now we haven't customized email or done anything, right? So that is one thing, but we can always customize that. So agent name is test. So I can upload a photo here. Contact first name is test. Agent test.agent@words.com. Okay, I'll provide some phone number here. Then what is the pickup location? Sorry, where is he based out of? I'll do that, and I'll do a register. As soon as I do that, in the background it's doing it. Again, I didn't expand it fully, so that is one thing. Okay, now you would see that email coming through here. So there's no so you can, if you want, you can customize your email template like this. Since we haven't defined any email template, you would not, it's not sending out that email to you. So now we can come and define that email template. Okay. So to do that, we can come in here, come to email and add so there could be variables like fname, that's first name, lname, and link. And I can add a text here. So I'll keep it simple right now. Okay. So from now on, it's going to make use of this particular email template. So to send out the emails, after whenever we sign up. Okay, so it'll take some time, but I'll get that email so that I can show it to you. And this next thing we can also do as seller sign up. Sure. It is again a public workflow. So I'll have a name, address, contact, this, and this. So there's a lot of other features as well. So we can easily see that later, but we'll just focus on getting this use case done. Okay, so now one of the things we can do is come and add a menu item here. Okay, we can add any icon if you want to. Okay, so now if we go back, as we do this, it's actually writing code and publishing it as well. So the new code will, you can see it will show up here, seller sign up. So if I do this, it will take me to the sign up screen of the seller. Again, oh, I forgot, we have to also add that user creation here, right? Seller sign up. And
You can have this OTP authentication.
absolutely, absolutely. If you want to authenticate via OTP, we can do that. So the MentorNet I showed you was authenticating via OTP. I just showed you that app, right?
Yeah.
You can sign in via that as well. I'll show you that as well. If you want to do that as a process, so there's a sign up, right? So we can create a user. So then there needs to be some way to create a user. That's it. So the other approach, I'll show you both of them right now. Seller mapping criteria. Contact email, contact first name, contact last name, and contact phone. So going back to your question, right? So what we can do is I can do it as a part of my entire flow itself. So what I can do right now, so I'll show you. So view agents. Okay, I'll create that. So we can make this as the default workflow actually. So right now what I'm saying is show me an agent all over here. Okay, so it's a read all. Now I'll add a read all container. I'll add a Kanban view here. So in this layout, I can define what I want to show. So I want to show the photo of that. I want to show his name. Any label, you know, like if you want to show the contact first name and contact last name, you can do that. And any description that you want to show. Okay. So in the lane enumerator, I'm going to find it by location. So if you have any custom marker, it's okay. So right now I'll just use one of the custom markers. Okay. So I have created now a workflow right now called view agents, and I'm going to make that as the default workflow. What happens right now when I go into, if you see the latest code it would have generated. So right now it's asking me to give my location. I can say hello. So it'll show me a list of people near me. Okay. So the other idea for you to do, instead of doing a map view, I didn't want to see the view agents, right? So the other idea is, if I, one second. Okay, if I can provide a table view, if I want to show, or a card view, you know, I can do an image card and I can configure that entire thing here. Title is going to be the name, and subtitle is going to be contact first name space last name, the description, whatever he has given, and his photo. Okay, so I can define the card view as well. So, but then if you want to see this as well, whatever is there. So if I search for Indira Nagar, there was one of the, why isn't it showing up? One second, it didn't show up. Oh, it has not created any agents at all. So there must be some error. Sorry, my bad. Looks like there has been some error. Give me 1 second. I'll quickly look into it. If there, what the error was. So Deepak, it was going smooth till now.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, unique check.
If everything goes on well, you got to be not pleasant.
Yeah, so
something is not right.
yeah, so I think I'll remove this because there are no agents, right? The first time when it happens, it's getting a null point. I think the code it's generated, so, it's
So,
you have to-
Prashant, just quick one. So probably you didn't catch it. So that means to say that it's not highlighted properly, or means it just you're getting
what?
what my point is.
No, I didn't understand. Sorry, what?
No, because you didn't catch that error when you created it.
It didn't show up any error at all, right? So it has followed. So basically, I looked into the logs because that your record did not create at all. I was wondering why it did not create. So
Maybe an indication here itself to flag it.
it should have shown that error on the page itself. It did not. Again, as I said, I have to see why that happened. Something very simple, so I can look into it. So let me see. I've forced it to regenerate the code. So we'll quickly try it out again. So I'll do agent sign up. So in the meanwhile, I'll come here and get rid of the card view. The map view makes more sense, right? So I'll delete this altogether. Okay, test agent agent description. Now the reason I'm saying is every time we do a demo, right, there's always something that will fail. So I was very, very shocked till now nothing failed.
That's the reason, Prashant, we say it's a demo session.
Yeah, I will do a register now. Let me make sure this time it's succeeded. I was just thinking the email is delayed, for me to receive that email. See, now it showed me the user created successfully. Last time it didn't show me this as well. And my email came through as well. So activation email. Sorry, I gave a wrong name to it. Authentication. Oh, damn. Clone. Activation. Okay, so I'll just create one more user agent. Some photo to make it look good. So I started using for all the fake emails, right? I started using CodeNinja.ai. I used to do, type some SDST something.com. And apparently one of the cases I got a reply saying that, hey, what is this about? So apparently there was some junk domain name that somebody was using. So that was weird. So I stopped using all junk mails for the demo purpose. Okay, so go back here. So it has created both. Okay. So now it used that email template that we created. If you see here, compared to this is the default one. There's an email template that we have created. Okay. So the next step to do is to go back and show you oh, sorry, not this. To go back and show you the list of people that will show up here. So if I allow, there's nothing here. If I zoom out, so I see one in Indranagar. So there's one agent, and there's one in Koramangala. So we can probably have proper ones, but it's automatically done this. The other approach is, before that I need to get my charger. 1 second, I'll get my charger.
Integrated with the Google API, or that's something outside of this?
No, it's integrated. No, you saw the Google Maps.
Yeah, so that means since now Google has started charging for everything. So
Yeah.
how does that work out?
You will get your Google account and you will provide us the keys and we'll use that. It's as simple as that. We're not going to pay for that.
Okay.
So it's your, if let's say you are building it for your customer, then you will request your customer for the Google keys, right? If he's wanting a map solution, he has to pay for it. It's pretty simple.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Right? So I'll show you one more type of way. View agents has cards. This is again a public. You can switch between each of those, okay? Read all. In this read all container, I can do a card view. Image card. One figure. Add the first name on board. Then the description. Image is photo. Okay, so I can do this. Now, one more thing I can do is I can add a filter. Okay, so what I can do is filter is location, and I can select the property location. Okay, and if you want to add vehicle type, I can do that as well. And the property here will be, oh, it's an agent, right? We are looking for agent. My bad. I should have looked for vehicle. Okay, so this is wrong. This shouldn't have been there. Let's just do by agent name. Sorry, when I do the vehicles, I'll show you that. So it will come up accordingly. So I can do the view agent as card as default right now. So it's now showing up as cards, right? Now you can search by, again, this can be kilometers or miles. So you can search by that. Like I can type the location, right? Like if I say Delhi, so I can do that. And I can apply, do a search based on that, right? Now you won't find anybody here. If I search by, let's say, Whitefield, Bangalore, I might get one, I might not, depending on the, I didn't get any. So depending on the distance, right? I think Whitefield is far away, it's around. So if I go for 10, I'll get anything. Now it will also show you suggestions automatically. To do this, it automatically brings up all your suggestions. You must have the filters. Go ahead, please.
Prasant, actually, that is this location is that exact on. Actually, that need to give that this latitude and longitude, right?
Yeah. So the background, it's the code written is taking care of all those latitude, longitude, everything. So as you search here, right? I'll show you. I mean, if you are really interested in finding it out, it's fairly simple. Let me show it you as well. So if I apply filters, you can see the code that's going here. Sorry, the headers. So you can see the filters. In one of the filters, it's saying there's the latitude. See here what it's going in the location, right? It's telling you latitude, longitude, and distance. So it's taking care of everything for you automatically in the background. Okay. So again, whatever you typed here, everything will go in. So automatically all those code, and if you want to see the query, I can show you the query, what it writes in the background, right? Let's show you that query. It's actually pretty cool, you know. One second. This guy. Uh,
It's like profiler, right? Like SQL profiler.
So we log everything, so that's why you're seeing this. Okay, we have like many servers, so I have to see which server it is going. I wish I could have shown you that. Maybe it's a different server. But you understand what I'm saying, right? So the whole idea is it's the whole thing. Whatever you're looking for, the entire logic is taken care for you. It's writing everything in the background. You know how the people query, how everything should be there for you. Okay. Let's then go into the next step. Actually, I should have shown a list of vehicles here, so I made a mistake. Go back and
Okay, how do you apply that validations here?
so what kind of validations are you looking for?
Like this password, that characters and all, and this phone number validations and all.
So if I have a phone number, you saw that, right? It will show you the phone number field itself.
And
So
no,
apart
from that standard one, actually that if you want to apply any custom validations like rejects you are writing, right? Regular expressions and all.
See, we avoid manual coding altogether, right? Almost 99.99% of the code is written by our AI. So what we are is, as I said, what we do is we develop the AI engine that writes code. We don't want to sit and write any of this code. So again, if you tell me what exact validations you are looking for, then we can help out in that way. Because the phone number, I can't write characters in this phone number. Even if I hit anything, it won't take. Right? And if I do a wrong email, it will tell me I have to, I can't say that. When I say it says you have to enter a validate. So it will not be
Yeah, this type, okay. Anyway, this is the standard types like email, phone, and all. You check with the password field. So if you want, we have that.
So let's go to the password now. So let's say right now I created this, right? So I can set the password. This is again standard. We use very high standards in terms of password. So you have to have lower character, higher character. It does all those. I can't simply just do some password like that. So it won't let me set the password at all. So it has to be fairly complex and all those 9 yards. So all those password rules are automatically taken care of for you again. If you're looking for really custom rule, then it'll become, after the application is generated, then it'll become a bit of manual coding for us. Okay. You can always go back.
Based on the role, based on the role, if you want to redirect to some other pages, means then how do you this?
That is there. So that is already taken care of. See, right now I logged in as so I set up the password for one of the what is this guy? Agent. Okay. If I come and now add one, which is gonna add, let's say, add vehicle. Okay. Add vehicle. It's authenticated type. This will need register vehicle permissions. So this permissions that you're defining will automatically take care of what to show, what not to show. Okay. So I'll have vehicle, create update. In fact, if two roles has the same permission and you want to add a condition saying if role is 1, you do this. If role is 2, do this. It's even that is possible. Let's say that I have let's say I'll go back here. And I'd like to go and answer your question, right? I have an agent who can register a vehicle. I have a seller who can raise a disposal request. If I say, let's say I have an admin, I already have an admin role. So let's say I want to give admin also the same permissions. Okay. So now I want to say now that if admin is logged in, I want to show a different screen. And if it is somebody else who is logged in, you want to show a different screen, that's also doable. So for that, let's add that feature as well. set for user. Okay. So first I'll filter agent. Okay. So I filtered this. I can say, I'll just put a rich text here. And I can say welcome agent name. Please wait while we load for you. Okay, something, I just put some text here. Okay, so now going back to your question, if I add a particular item now, that is register vehicle for agent. Okay, so it will be a vehicle, it will be a create update. Okay, then I'll add one more item, it will be register vehicle for admin. Okay, now I can come and add a rule here. So in this case, I click here and I'll add a rule. So in that rule, I can check, it's still loading, whether he has the role. Okay, which role? If he has the role admin, then take him to this page. Otherwise, it will go to the next page automatically. Okay, and I want to automatically progress to the next page too, right? So I'll come and add a timer. Okay, and this timer, I'm gonna hide this timer and just give it for 1 second. So for a couple of seconds, it will show. It's an indication. It is not exact 1 second. It's an indication, but it will automatically take him to the next page, either this or this, depending on what we have provided. So I can provide a thing here. What is the vehicle type? What is the model? What is the year? What is the registration number? Owner, I can set it automatically. I don't need it. Then what is the current location? Okay, so I have provided all this. So simple enough. Vehicle type, registration number. I'll just do 2 each. And okay, so here it's gonna be I'll show you where it's beneficial. Like for admin, you want to provide a field where he can also select who's the owner of it. In most cases, the owner is automatically selected, right? But in this case, you want to select who's the owner as well. So that is when it is beneficial. Okay, so this for him, that's for the other person. Now, after I do a register here, I have to end the workflow. I don't want to go to the next screen. Okay. And in this case, I also want to add an after action saying set owner. So which is going to say assign source model to assign this vehicle. And then I'm saying vehicle, the code in the background, it's going to say that vehicle dot owner is equal to the agent that we have filtered. Okay. So I've already here in the first case, I already filtered that agent. So I already have that filter. So it would have already said that it will say that, hey, I want to get this agent from the database. Then it will automatically come and do this. So I can publish this. Same. Now I'll add one more, which is going to be list vehicles. List vehicles, vehicle, read all, generate default layout for me. I can do a table view right now. Vehicle type, model, year, who's the owner? I don't need to show the owner. And what is the current location? But what I need to do is first set owner, which is going to be filter any model for the user, agent. User property is contact.email. The next thing I have to do is set filter, read all filters. So I'll say contact.email. I can use user. Okay, so this is now setting a filter for all the vehicles. Okay, it's fairly simple. Okay, then I can add now a sub workflow which is inline register vehicle. Spelling. So where I'm saying open the add vehicle, and I can potentially open it in the same window or I can do it in any other window. So add vehicle. Okay, so I'll just add something, and I have this list of vehicles. Now I come in here and I say register vehicle. Section vehicles. Okay, so now if I show you what is created, so as I do that, it will keep creating. So right now, you won't see that menu register here at all, right? But if I sign in with this particular user, I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. I had to remove from the previous one. So we can also give custom login workflows. So right now I don't have a custom login workflow. That's why I just have to do this extra work. Okay, so it's not showing up because I don't have a login workflow. If I don't set anything, if it is null, it'll automatically it'll automatically use the default workflow and write that code. So right now, because I had set something for previous demo, I just have to remove that. Okay, see, this is the default workflow. Now, again, as always, you can customize anything you want. So I'll use this login. Now, if you see here, I have my vehicles menu coming up. A seller is not going to see this. A seller won't even show that menu for the seller. So I'll show you registering a seller as well. So you'll see. So right now I don't have any vehicles. I register a vehicle. So it's showing me and it says, please wait while we load for you. I know what I didn't add for workflow, add vehicle, apply to all viewports. So I didn't show you the full screen. I did show you the full screen designer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So it took me into here. You see, there's no drop down for me to select a particular thing. So I can register a vehicle here. So I have a semi and, whatever I have, right? I have a truck, modelers, Benz, what is name is K05. 2, 3, 4. Make, when did I buy this? So I can potentially come and say it's June make, and current location is somewhere in Whitefield, Bangalore. Okay, so I can register this.
Drop, right?
Yeah,
So
you
actually,
can,
yeah, okay.
you can do any of this. You can move this automatically, but it's better and simple enough for us to automatically use the other one. Right now, if I sign out and log in via the admin account I have, okay, so I still, as for the admin account, I still see this. Now when I go in and add register a vehicle, okay, so I don't have permission for that. Why? I don't have an admin user, so I have to create an admin user first. This is not an admin user. Okay. Let me check with an admin user. Mountains or hills? Seriously? What is happening? This is not created, the first one. Okay, so something's wrong again. So I'll have to see why it didn't pick up. Why it's not letting me. It's not even prompting me to open that one. So, which is weird. What I can potentially do is.
I think it should prompt while we publishing, right?
What it should prompt?
Yeah, the errors and all.
No. So right now, that's what I was saying. So there's no errors here. It's just taking time. That page, it's not loading that page. That's why I was like, okay, let me just go and add a new menu item.
Okay.
See what's
It's
wrong.
syncing with some other database or something.
No, nothing. So we do a lot of caching. So it's potentially with the Apache Ignite that it's caching. That's why I came to see here. I see one of them is like taken so long. So there is some query that is blocking it. Maybe that is what is. So that's why I came to see maybe something else is gone wrong in that particular piece of code it's generated.
Might be you can use any loading progress panel or something, right? So while it is publishing anyway, you are showing, but
Yeah. No, there is
this
some.
you have to fetch it.
Yeah. So we have logs on everything. So we have alerts on everything. So right now it's come back, but it's not showing. It's not showing the UI. That's what I'm trying to see why. So I don't have a custom, which is okay. But if you see, all the requests are completed.
Okay.
I don't see any pending requests right now. So something on the
develop that application actually that.
Oh, you know what? I know. I think it's the Google Maps. So because we use the location there, right? So sometimes this Google Maps will be pending. It will be a killer for us.
Yeah. Some kind of delay is there even after purchasing that. Google APIs also. Actually, that we use that
Google
some
Maps.
plugins or something. Yeah, we use some free plugins and all. So I think we are getting the same responses. Some kind of seconds delay is there. Some 10 seconds, 20 seconds delay.
Okay, so because in that I'm taking the Maps API, right? Because see, I don't have any blocks on my end. It's fully cleared.
Mm-hmm.
There's no blocks on my end at all. So the only other thing I can think of is Google Maps is not loading in this code. Okay, we'll come back to that. I'm sure we'll see that. So in the meanwhile, we'll go and create a particular seller. So we have a seller sign up.
Prashant, I have opened that link on my end and it's coming fine. I think there must be something with the cache.
Okay, let's try.
But I think more or less we are done with the demo, isn't it, Rupesh and Balaji? Or anything else you are looking out from?
So last thing, I'll just show one thing. So right now I wanted to register vehicle and show that. In the list of vehicles that we show, right, we can show also different types of UI there in terms of how you select. But I don't have a vehicle here, so how will I show that?
You can also show the reports generation, Prashant, how the reports is automatically
done.
Giving you suggestions.
I'll do that right now. Okay, so what I'll do right now, I'll just not add a read all. I'll add a container first. In the layout, I can add a few reports if I want to make it cooler. Okay, so some of them, I don't have any blocks, so it would have automatically created, see, so many reports. So right now we can see all this is because, it's based on the other models that I've created. But we can automatically say how many disposable requests we have got by the location or by the vehicle type, right? So you can see how many requests you have got by the text. So I can do a pie chart on that. Or if I see the other one here, I can see I can do a daily rate, by how many for every date, how many requests I've got. Or if I want to do a weekly, monthly, you can do any of those. Okay, so I'll say weekly request count. Okay, so this is going to be a bar chart. If I want to, I can do that. Okay, so then I can add a read all container. In this read all container, I can add maybe a simple card. It is going to give me the vehicle model, vehicle type. Then model space year and agent. I can provide the owner's name. Okay, simple enough, right? So this is, now I can add filters here. So I can add a filter here by location, which is going to be based on the current location. Then I can also add by vehicle type. Now when I do this vehicle type, see, I got another thing called as clickable view. So I can select this as well and publish this. So right now there are no vehicles, it won't show up, but I can go and make that as the default right now. Okay, so if I open the actual UI right now it's a card view. So okay, 1 second, I didn't publish it for all. Okay, I can also move this on the top if I want to. Okay, and if I open this now, so you can see now it found that error, right? You saw that looks like no layout was configured. That is because I didn't. So right now there's no data. So that's why it's showing like this. But once you see the data, you'll see beautiful charts here. So you see, you can either filter by location or also you get this new cool type of filters. So you can potentially have icons for each of those, and you can click on that and apply the filter. So I can click on a truck and automatically apply the filter, right? So I don't have any vehicles right now that I've registered, but once I registered, you can see that coming up here. Okay, so there's another type of UI that I wanted to show you.
Actually, currently you are running in this browser, right? So we can connect in the device also, right? While we do the testing.
Yeah, you can do it on device also. See, there's something to do with permission. It didn't open up for my admin, but opens up here, which is weird. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, so let me add one truck. Benz K03. I didn't save it. Okay, so your question was to see this in the app, right?
Yeah. We want to test it in that mobile device.
So this same thing, if I have to just make sure in the full screen designer that I go in and define the views for each of those, right? Like each of these, you come and ensure that it's all defined. And once these views are all defined, then automatically in the background the app is also generated for you. So if how will I demo the app for you? So one of the other, let me show you that as well, right? So if I go into
here, Prashant.
Show me in the running mode.
These are all just your standard distance, isn't it? So what if the design and everything is specific, something very unique to the client? How do we manage that? When everything been done?
So I'll show you the uniqueness as well. Most of the uniqueness that you're looking for is handled via mostly via the CSS, right? Okay, so this just showing up, right? This is an app on the web. The same thing I just showed you right now. The same app that we have generated for the client, right? So this is there's a BlueStacks is a what do you call it? It's a simulator. So I can show it on my phone. It'll be easier, but then how will I show? Maybe turn on my video and show the phone. Maybe something like that. Oh, sorry, it just installed already. Where did it install? Okay, it's here. So the same app, what do you see on that web? You see that's gonna look different, and it has few other features. So automatically this app is generated. Same thing, even if I go and create generate app for your existing application, that I can download and I can show it to you here. So whatever you just did now, right? It'll show up here. But if you
mean to say for existing app, you can with the APK file or whatever it is, you can regenerate the code. That's what you mean?
No, not for the existing. For whatever I built right now, that one is for that we can have a APK file generated.
Okay. So so any existing application we have to work from ground zero, isn't it?
This is mostly for ground zero, yes. So if you have an existing app, it can't merge its code with that code, nah? The architecture is going to be different. What kind of code it writes, it's going to be different. So this will automatically create all the apps for you. iOS app, Android app. You also have APIs. And you were talking about custom UI, right? So if let me check if their license is still valid. If their license is still valid, I can show you this.
Prashant, can we run this same code in all platforms like this Android, iOS?
So whatever, you can see, I'll come back to that, but you can see a very custom UI for this customer, right? Colorful, like the reports are different. You have a side menu. So we can customize the UI in terms of look and feel mostly via CSS. The CSS is also auto-generated, right? But that CSS you can automatically create. But if you want to have like a fancy table where a table will have something else, let's say a map inside it, that you have to write custom code. You can't do with this, right? Coming back to your question, automatically, whatever I did till now, automatically it would have written you API code, backend API that I can use via API. Okay, it would write you the web code, that is whatever you're seeing on the web. It'll write you iOS code and it'll write you Android code. So all the four code is written for you. So if I can,
API code is written automatically, is it?
Even the API code. So I'm just showing you in Postman, right? For this company, you see whatever you see, it's a data feed application, right? So automatically in the background, all the API codes are written. You can see in most cases here, autodata.api, /API/. So they are providing in data feed. So you can see the body. This is the data feed body. So the API is automatically written. So you can make use of it if you want to and write your own custom UI altogether. If you want to check out our UI, right, leave a UI aside, and you want to build the entire app or entire UI on yourself, you are welcome to do so. So all the 4 are going to be given for you. Web app, web API, iOS API, Android API, and this particular actual API. Sorry, web app code, iOS code, Android code, and the API.
Can you show me that how to update the CSS file?
So CSS, if I go back to Autodata, right? So mostly it's in S3. You will get access to S3. You just upload to S3 and you will clear our CDN cache. That's it. It's very straightforward. So we haven't given a tool as such for you to do it, but you see this autodata.whats.css that's created. So this is automatically created. Okay, all this code is automatically written. This entire code. That's based on the theme they select and upload it. You can now make any custom changes you want into this and upload it to S3 and purge the CDN cache. Okay, it's pretty simple.
So Prashant, can you show the themes on the CodeNinja platform?
So I go in here. So if I go in here, we generally do a bootstrap. Okay, so you come into the bootstrap build /app. You make all the changes you want, how your colors, everything should look like. You make all the changes. In the export theme, you select the variable CSS, and that you will come and upload it to us here. Okay, so they have uploaded one theme, this customer. So you can upload a new theme. You replace the CSS or whatever it's just a preview image for all this. Once you upload it, that theme is going to be available here, and you can hit on apply. Once you do that, a complete new CSS is going to be written for you. And that you can further customize because we'll give you access to our S3, that file access, that particular single file access, which you can make changes and re-upload back into S3 and purge the CDN cache.
Okay, got it.
Okay, and you're right. I think we'll probably provide an access here itself where you can upload your CSS and automatically it'll do that work for you. You don't have to manually do it in S3. You're right. We can potentially add that feature here.
What's this S3? Sorry.
Okay, Prasad, one another question actually, that if you want to add some third-party plugins like API, APK, like that, then is it possible in this framework?
No, what exactly is the third party that you're looking for?
See, if you want to connect with that any other app, see, for example, in Uber, right, it is integrated with that vehicles and food and all. In a single app, it is covering. So like that, I am asking actually that. So, for example, different app is linking with this main app means. Then
no, that you have to write custom code for that. Whatever generated code is there, right? You'll take that and you'll add custom code. You'll add your own view and you'll add all those apps if you want to. But if you're looking for other things, for example, see in this workflow we have something called as actions. These are nothing but plugins. We have a lot of actions. We have a lot of actions. You can send an SMS. Okay, you can make third-party API calls. If you want to do any web service calls, right? You select this and they automatically execute third-party APIs. You can dynamically resolve strings, right? You can convert one object to other. You can schedule something to run in the background. So you're selecting all these things, right? What is the workflow to run, when to run? You'll select all the schedule, whether it's one-time recurring, and you can schedule something to. For example, you want to send an email, like every Friday you want to send a promotion email. You can come and configure this here, right? Or you want to do a video conferencing, you can. Or you want to set up an IVR call. If you want to do a complete customer call center, you can do it here. For example, in your use case, a seller is coming and if an agent has accepted it, we can potentially initiate a call with the seller and the agent and connect both of them together, right? Okay. Or seller wants to, already wants to reconfirm. You can set up an IVR call where you can press 1 to reconfirm, press 2 to reschedule. You can do all those. Okay. So there's a lot of cool stuff here, including sentiment
Is
and.
there any payment gateway supporting payment gateway plugins or something?
We are already supporting 2 payment gateways. So if you see here, right, you have payment. You can include that, and I'll actually show you how it's integrated in one place as well. So that is going to be in make payment. So you see here, right? View the invoice and play. In the invoice, we are put in the payment gateway. So I'm showing this. It's a test environment right now. All this billing thing, information you provide. So automatically the payment gateway is going to be will show up. We are integrated with CC Avenue, and we are also integrated with Cash-Free. We suggest you to leverage Cash-Free as much as possible. Then it's gonna be cheaper compared to.
So this will support both seamless and non-seamless, right? Payments.
What do you mean by seamless and non-seamless payment?
Seamless, actually, that this one actually, if in our app, if we are giving the links and this will redirect to this one, that payment gateway. This is seamless. Non-seamless means then just we click in a single click, it should redirect to that payment gateway, and it will show all the options whatever they have.
That's the one we have where it'll just show a button called whatever we give in the name here, right? It'll just show a button. You click on that, it'll open the payment gateway automatically with all the information where they can select credit card, debit card, wallet, everything.
Okay, inside some browser or something you are loading, right? Inside.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is there. As I said, right? We have video conferencing. We have if you want to do calendars, payments, authentications. If you want to pick contacts from your phone, right, or pick images from your phone, that is there. So pretty cool stuff. You can build real complex workflows. We have various different types of things. Like if you see Playground, it's like a shopping cart we built in one of the demos, right? So you can quickly build a shopping cart like experience, right? Or there's another training thing where we something similar.
Question.
Yeah,
one another question actually that while we select that any action type, so this will support that all relevant permissions, right? So for example, sending SMS. So this is relevant to this Android SMS permission. So
correct. So while installing, it'll ask, or when it's used, it'll ask whether the user do you want to provide permission or not. It'll take care of that. Same thing for contact pickers and image pickers.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay, and last but not least, you can come and write your own custom plugin. So in here, so this runs in the background, right? You can write a custom plugin if you have real custom use case that none of these plugins have solved. I think you can write. You can come and write your own plugin. It's a Java-based thing, like a jar file that you will upload to us, and that plugin will be available. You can make it available only for one customer, or you can make it available for everyone. We eventually also want to open it up as a marketplace where you can make money out of it in the future. Let's say you wrote a plugin to book Ola cabs, right, or Uber cabs. You can always open it up and let's say you want to charge 100 rupees per month for every customer, or 1% of the transaction. However you want, right? We can build that for you on behalf of customer. Okay, so it's a fairly simple one.
Okay, fine. Actually, how we can make a versioning there in this one?
So versioning is automatically taken care for you by our engine. So you don't have to do anything for that. Sorry, I'll just show you the plugin real quick. So if you see, we have a lot of plugins here. So like all this, and I'll show you how when you're writing a new code, it's a fairly simple one. You write like probably maximum 10 lines of code, right? See, you have so many things here, right? So many plugins that are there. So if you, in case of my sentiment analysis, say this line of code, so I'm asking my engine to say, give me something with source property and give me the source model. It'll take care of giving that data for you. Okay, things like those. So it's fairly, you'll probably write not more than 20 lines of code. Now your question was versioning. So if I go into one of my other servers, I'll show you the generated code now. Okay. So if you see here, I have a list of all these other clients and all that generated code. So Grayseal is one. So right now it's in V1 version. You see some of them are in V7. One of them are V10. You know, like some of them have 0, 1, you know, like both versions available. So when there's no usage, it can take care of deleting the old versions as well, right? So all these versioning, when to do the versioning, because see, we have zero downtime deployment. I did all this. We generated an entire application. We generated the code of this entire application. The deployment was instantaneous, right? So whatever we created, right? If you see this guy here, it has got all the class files. So I just created the vehicle, right? We created the seller. We created the agent, right? We have the disposable. All that code is there for you, and the controller will have the API. So you can see all those controllers, right? These are all the APIs. So automatically it takes care of doing the versioning and everything for you. Okay. So V1 of controller, V2 of controller, it's taking care of entire versioning for you. So what I'm trying to get at is the benefits that you are getting here is the decision is again left to the AI engine to decide when to version. So automatically it decides at this point of time it's not backwards compatible. I can't write code that's backwards compatible. So that's when it makes a decision that I'll do a new version now of that code. So it takes care of creating all those for you. Okay, it starts from V0. Right now we are on V1 on Grayseal.
Okay, the DB part actually that backend part actually it comes with that application, right? So like SQLite, MongoDB, right?
So MySQL is what MySQL is what we use.
Yeah.
So yeah,
no need to change the connection string and all, right?
Nothing. Everything will be. See, you have two options, right? Are you gonna deploy with us, or are you gonna deploy yourself? Okay, if you're deploying with us, you don't have to do anything. It's already deployed. Your app is live. You come and make changes, your app is live. Okay.
But at times, the client might have an on-premise requirement. So what do we do there?
So for an on-premise requirement, we'll give you the entire deployer, and we'll give you this entire code thing that you can now take it and deploy. We are working on a way wherein you can just get a Docker image and you just go and run the Docker image. You don't have to do a single thing. So we're working on that. But right now there are some manual steps involved where you have to go and do a Java-jar to start a particular deployer, then which will get the scripts and create the database and everything for you. And then you have to start an application. So there's a bit of steps there, and you have to manually install Apache Ignite because that's required for caching. Elastic Cache if we are using advanced searching. So sorry, not Elastic Cache, Elasticsearch. So things like those, right? You have to manually install in some cases. And then once you install, you'll have to give us the IP address and everything else, right? So there'll be a bit of manual work. So we're working on a way in which automatically Dockerized container, which we can take and deploy automatically. You don't have to do anything. So
irrespective of the technology or the system.
Irrespective of the so Docker runs on. So if you have Docker installed or Kubernetes installed, it will run. It's a container, right? So it's gonna run. So irrespective of Windows or Linux or a Mac.
Now you said you are using MySQL, isn't it?
Correct.
Well, what if maybe they don't prefer a MySQL or something? What are the ways out of there?
So right now the only way is manual work. So current code generated is compatible with MySQL. Now because the backend uses Hibernate, we can always switch from MySQL to MS SQL. But I know in some of the code that it's written, it is also leveraging some of the MySQL standards like TinyInt and stuff like those, right? In the column names. Oh, I closed it. I could have shown you that generated code. It's actually using that column type as TinyInt, which is specific to MySQL. So there are some cases where we have to go back and do some work, update that code, which is going to be different for different databases, and publish it again.
So that will be a challenge if in case it's not MySQL.
I won't disagree with that at all. It is going to be a challenge, but it's not a big challenge. We've considered the fact that 6 months or 9 month worth of application effort is come down to 6 to 9 days for you, right? It's you're spending an additional day in just changing 1 or 2 places, because we know exactly what all its kind of MySQL features it uses. If we give you that list, you can just do a search replace and change the connection strings to let's say Oracle or MS SQL, and you'll be done.
Yeah, so we will also help you to do all those things, configuration and this, Rupesh.
Okay. All right. Now, one more question. So this is basically only for your web applications and mobile apps, or?
It's web application and mobile apps. You can do data feed apps with the OTData I just showed you, right? It's a data feed application. So the data comes in, you can run analytics on top of that particular data. Okay, you can probably do like a simple moving average or stuff like those. We also support IoT apps. That is, we support MQTT protocol. So the generated code can automatically create, listen on MQTT protocol, and as the data comes in, you can perform operations on top of that. We are working on supporting and generating blockchain apps. It's still in the works. It's a long way to go, but it's something in the future. Is there any specific type of app that you're looking for?
No, that was a generic question. I didn't have anything else. I just wanted to understand the extent of.
Yeah. So nowadays, if you think, Rupesh, everything is web and everything is Android. Any app which we are doing it, and it's more about all the logics, the kind of logics you write it down. In Code Ninja, you can write whatever logics you want to put it and make a simple app to the complex ERP system also. Right. So that's where the potential of Code Ninja is. You can write even a complex ERP based on your logical flows in couple of weeks. Something like a SAP or any kind of thing.
Hey guys, this is Rajesh here. I joined a bit. Sorry to have joined late. I've been listening for a while. Hey, good to talk to you, Deepak, and I think you have your colleague also, Prashant.
Prashant, right?
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, couple of quick questions for you. One. So typically, okay, let's start with how many client apps do you have actually in production? Generated out of this code base. I mean, out of this framework.
So we have 2 that our customers are actively using today. There are 3 more that is already generated, but the customers haven't gone live with it. So the Mentornik that I showed you, we have one EventSphere. There's another one that we are working on. So totally around 5 to 6 apps are live.
So let's stick to the ones which are on production. How long have they been in production?
So there are 2 ADSs that we have generated for close to 6 to 8 months now. They have been in production. And see, I'll tell you the scenario is when we started working on this. We started this company in November of 2017, and what happened is like we had to start somewhere. That is, train this somewhere. So we started with a ATS, which is nothing but applicant tracking system in the HR space. Okay, so we started with that. Those couple of instances that are generated are already live. Our customers are using it day in and day out. No issues at all. Then we work towards rebranding everything and making it more generic so that it can generate any type of application. So we spend.
No, I understand. I think I really like what you're doing. I mean, it's just that I was just going through it, and I somehow felt that there are still quite a few rough edges which you yourself need to figure out. Things like I just saw that you went through an entire workflow and then it was not coming up. So I'm just kind of wondering, like
yeah. So the thing is, I can answer.
No, there's a very minor glitches in the whole system that gets generated, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a simple one.
And Rajesh.
No, my question is, Rajesh, so when we get stuck with this, we will get support, because I mean, otherwise the whole adage of saving time will be lost.
Rajesh,
trying to debug it.
Right.
Yeah.
So Rajesh, I would like to answer on this. Whatever we are doing, it is in a very quick node. So, and another thing is, we are not saying that you will reduce your work from weeks to days or an hours. So that's why we are saying the 6 months work you can do it in a week's time, and we are there to help you a lot. So at every stage. Currently, we are working with the two of another software companies with whom we are tied up as an our technology partners, and they are working on our platform, and they are trying to build some app and some